yeah, definitely trust your gut because people lie. I mean, it happens all the time. Hi, welcome to Vital Skin Essentials. I'm Emma.
And I'm Lorena.
And today we're going to be talking about some of the things that we've learned in our years being in this industry and some advice we would give people that are new to the industry, as well as we're going to talk about some product recommendations, some more affordable skincare options for people.
Right, skincare on a budget.
Yes.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it, I think, about 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, I was thinking like 13 or 14.
Yeah, I think it's been about 18, although I wasn't really serious about it at first. It was like a last minute kind of like I was going to do ballet and
Right.
needed to find something else and was kind of thrown in like my first job. Like there was no one else working with me at the same time. They just kind of threw me into a room. I felt very lost.
Like straight out of school?
Straight out of school. Had an opposite schedule of the other girl working, and she gave me no training, no advice on the product, like absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I felt just like fish out of water, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Then in my next job, got some training. There was a girl that worked there that was really good, and she helped to train me. And I got a lot more comfortable, but still didn't really get passionate about it until years later.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
So
I think
why did you go into skincare, like out of everything, after, you didn't want to be a ballerina, or you could not be a ballerina, or you just didn't want to anymore?
I didn't want to anymore, and I like doing stage makeup. So that
Mm.
was my main kind of driver.
Reason to go to
Yes, because it includes makeup.
Mhm.
Like you don't have to have like a license to be a makeup artist, but I figured it would help. And so that's what I did
Yeah.
at first too. Like one of my, I guess my second job was across from a wedding chapel. So we would like take our makeup over there and do everyone's makeup. And I did makeup for a while.
Really?
Prom makeup,
Mhm.
wedding makeup, and it ended up not really being what I thought it would be.
Yeah, okay.
In my head, it was like, oh, this like creative outlet, and I could do like tutorial makeup, and like the classes I would take on tutorial makeup were so cool. And then ended up just being a lot of like beige nudes, like
What did you
understated wedding makeup,
Mhm.
and it was just boring.
Oh.
It was boring, and then a lot of people wanted me to do their makeup the way they do it, and I
Oh.
ended up just always feeling like,
What's the
why don't you
point?
just do your makeup?
Yeah, what's the point? Interesting. Okay, 18 years is a long
Yeah.
time. Okay, that's a huge milestone. I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait to have like 20 plus years
Yeah.
of experience. I
Yeah.
mean, last month was my 10-year mark.
And that's a big milestone too.
Yeah, that was I mean, I don't feel like it's been 10 years. I think it's just been,
It does go by fast. Like I don't feel like it's been 18 years. It's like
yeah. Although I would say I feel like I learned the most in the past 5 years than I did
mm-hmm.
in school or any kind of training. Not that I didn't have great teachers. It was just you don't actually learn you don't actually learn until you're doing it, and it's more like hands-on.
Yeah.
In my personal experience, and they can give you all the books and all the textbooks, and you can learn from there too, and then you'll slowly start to pick it up. But like once you're actually hands-on, experiencing the skin, touching the skin, feeling the skin, and making mistakes along the way, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that because I see now that caused this reaction or stuff like that. You know, I would say if I could give someone some advice, it would be to learn your ingredients.
Yeah.
I don't think I understood the say not the benefits of salicylic acid, but I should have tested the products on myself first before putting it on my models or anything like that. But that's how you learn, also, right?
Yeah, it is a learning process.
I left on a salicylic mask for like 10 minutes on face when it was really only like 2 to 3 minutes. It was supposed to be, And
more is better.
But I would say learn your ingredients. Definitely, learn about the anatomy of the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
so important.
yeah, what advice would you give?
I would say, I mean, it's really important to learn. I would agree, like learn ingredients, learn the anatomy of the face. Make sure to ask people questions, even if you see them all the time. Like ask them about, medical changes, recent allergies, because there's been a lot of times where I've looked at someone's form and there's like nothing listed. And I asked them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm allergic to nuts, but you're not going to use nuts on me." I'm like, actually, there's lots of nuts in these
Yeah,
products.
walnut.
Walnut, yeah, like Biologique has lots of walnut in it. So if I'm using that product line, and sometimes it's just an ingested allergy, but sometimes it is a topical allergy. So it's something you really need to know, or they won't put on the form that they're pregnant because they don't want their friends that they're with to know. But then when you ask them, injectables too, like I've had people that didn't want to put it on the form, and then you find out they would like Botox earlier that day. It hasn't happened often, but it has happened.
Yeah, I've gotten like the day before, 2 days, 3 days after, before.
Yeah.
But
And so it's just good to do that to like cover your bases so that you don't get in trouble for something that is really not your fault, but it would look like it's your fault.
yeah, I would say also playing it safe. I would say, especially when you do
Mm-hmm.
like chemical peels or anything like that. I wouldn't want. I would never give anybody a chemical peel if it was their first facial ever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I always patch test at some point during the facial anyway. Like even if it's just like at the very beginning, like on the arm or something. I just, even though they have no allergies or anything, I just want to make sure, and then I let them
Mm-hmm.
know, okay, I'm just gonna do a quick patch test. Um, and then once I'm like, I make sure that they know that I'm analyzing it, whether like I'm touching on like their shoulders or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just checking to see that they gain some kind of trust with you,
Yeah.
because let's say they do have some type of reaction, but it has nothing to do with what you did, but they're out sweating, exercising after you told them not to. And depending on what type of peel that you do, it could reactivate with that heat or the stimulation. So now their
Mm-hmm.
face is like on fire. I know there's some peels that you are not supposed to add any kind of cold water, ice, or anything, even though it is burning, because what is the word I'm thinking of? It will
Frosted or
not frost, but it will cause the skin to rise. It's a blister. It'll blister up if you add
oh
ice or
yeah.
cold water. So again, nothing that you did wrong. Is just something that they, if you've
Yeah.
explained the aftercare, of course, depending on what kind of peel it is, and
Mm-hmm.
they go out and do it. But it's nice to have them and show them like, okay, there is no reaction. We can move forward with this peel. That's kind of like the
Yeah.
safety words and keys that I use. But absolutely, I think asking the questions is going to be the
Yeah.
best thing, because sometimes they want to do all this brightening, but they're soccer moms or outdoor moms, and
Yeah.
they're going to be innocent always. And I'd rather just look. If you're going to be outdoors, I'd rather not do this peel because it's going to do more damage than good.
Yeah. That's
So
true. That's a good point.
just being confident in what you are doing. Remember that you are the professional, and it's okay to not do things how it was on a plan originally, the plan, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you are educated, but you're also educating the guest. That whoever lays on your table, you are responsible for them. So if you feel any kind of, I would say, discomfort performing a service on them, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that, after all the questions that you ask them, that it's probably not going to be best for their skin, or if, they want this facial that has all of these active ingredients or all of these modalities, but their skin is super red and sensitive and can't you notice, that it can't tolerate it. It's okay to tell them that they can't have it and they choose a different course of treatment. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely trust your gut because people lie. I mean, it happens all the time. So yeah, trust your gut. If someone is just like sitting there and they're like, you're doing like a lot of massaging, you're asking about like facial threads.
yeah.
Like, have you had facial threads? And they're like, no. And you can kind of see them. Maybe
Hmm.
they're not done well. They have thin skin.
Hmm.
And so then you could do first. You could just say, okay, well that's good. Just so you know for future, if you do get threads, let me know because this massage could move the threads and could leave you paralyzed or something.
Hmm.
So that they'll be like, oh, you know what? I think I did have threads done.
Yeah.
And or you just don't say anything and just say, you know what, your skin needs something else today. We're gonna do
Yeah.
a different plan, and asking people what they're doing later that day. I've had some people that like I want lots of extractions, and I like halfway through, and they're like, I'm not gonna be red at all, am I? Because I have my birthday dinner tonight. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, you're gonna be really red. You said you wanted extractions. Like, what did
Yeah.
you think? But we can't assume that they know. Like, it's
Yeah.
our job to tell them what they kind of repeat back what they want and then what the outcome will be
Right.
from what they want. And then you can decide what to do based on that
Hmm.
because you'd be like, oh, well, yeah, we'll do a few extractions. But since you have your big dinner, we're going to go real light. And you can come back in 4 weeks and we'll go do a lot of extractions.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, I guess it comes down to just communication, communication, communication.
Agreed.
And yeah, and constantly seeking out education
Right.
and talking to your clients and not just assuming that they know what you're doing because sometimes they're not impressed because you're not telling them
Yeah.
what you're doing. If you tell them what you're doing on them, they're like, oh, this is like, you're doing a lot more than I thought you were. I thought you were just slapping a bunch of things on my face.
Which surprisingly, that's what I hear a lot of people say. Like, I've never had a facial like this. A facial like what?
Yeah.
Like, they just normally slap product on my face, and I'm like, that's crazy.
And some people like that, and some people will say, I don't want to talk, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And they've had lots of facials, and usually it's someone you've worked on before. But if it's someone that's new, unless they really seem like they don't want to hear it, even if they don't answer, I don't think they necessarily have to answer. And sometimes I'll say, like, don't feel like you have to answer. I'm just going to be telling you what I'm doing.
I would say 8 or 9 out of 10 will want you to talk to them, even though the first probably meet or greet, like they seem like they're just ready to just relax. But you know, you want to warn them if they're about to experience some type of sensation on the skin. So that's what I do, you know. I still talk to them, not as much. Like during the massage part, like I do not talk to them at all. Like when I'm about to start, like I'll tell them what I'm going to do so they can, if they have their eyes open for whatever reason, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to cover the eyes, take off a little makeup,
your eyes,
and we're closing the eyes, you know. So, you know, I like again, 8 or 9 out of 10, like they want you to talk to them. One, because you are establishing that you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, and they learn something, and they always want to learn something. Like even though they're not like big talkers or anything, you know, during that skin consultation or the skin analysis, I mean, they will, you know, you're analyzing their skin, and you might point out something that they didn't even like. Oh yeah, like that's something that's been troubling me this whole time, but they didn't mention that during the consultation. So it's nice to like bring that up. I don't ever say. It's also about delivery, because I never say, let's work on these wrinkles that you have. You never say that. You know,
Let's do some plumping today.
Yeah. So this is what I say. I'm going to, it's like, I want to work on a little bit around the mouth area here. I want to do a little bit of plumping. We're going to get a little bit of plumping here. The eyes look great, but I still want to do a little bit of plumping right around so that we can maintain that suppleness in the skin.
Yeah.
Something of the sort, because I have had people where I've been interviewing and they're like, you know, you could really benefit from a lip scrub. And I'm like, well, first of all, ask me how much water I've had today, and that'll tell you that I don't need a lip scrub, I need water. But
you think my lips look crusty?
To be fair, they were crusty because I have been working like no break. But I definitely get breaks now. So but it was just like, I can tell she was kind of like uncomfortable to tell me, but and automatic no. If you don't tell me, if you don't point out anything that's on my face or anything wrong with my face, not that there's something wrong, but if you don't point something out and you just say, oh, you have great skin. No, I know what my skin looks like, you know. And so, you know, be confident, but it is about delivery. You don't want to offend anybody. You just want to make sure that you're doing this for them and they understand that it's to help them.
Yeah, you can sandwich it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, you have beautiful skin, but I see a little bit of pigmentation, some broken capillaries around the nose, and like, you know, the texture is great, so we don't need to work on that, but let's do a few extractions through the T-zone and just kind of
choose something.
You know, just like sandwich it between two nice, not that you're making them up, like truly things that you do see that are good with the skin, because you want it to come across genuine. And sometimes, you know, if there's nothing you can say good, just do it. Then it's about just delivery,
or just say, you know, you have great. If they truly don't have anything, and
I've
had
people great bone structure.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Know.
I've had people who have great bone structure who have no absolutely poreless skin because they get lasers and stuff like that, right? By the way, I love lasers. Like, I've never had lasers before, but I've seen the results of lasers over this past 10 years, and I'm like, okay, I need to start doing that, right? But if they truly just have like flawless skin, they follow their routine, they have no extractions, very, very minimal pore size, oil is like balanced and everything, most likely there's been I would say like 3% that I've seen in my entire career where they have that kind of skin. And that's when I'm incorporating lymphatic drainage. That's where I'm doing more lifting, sculpting, and more maintenance, more preventative care, right? So yes, they get the Botox, yes, they get the filler, yes, they do the skincare at home, but sooner or later, they're still going to be losing that collagen, that elasticity. And so you need to be maintaining that. So how can I get you to work or invest in that maintenance, right?
Yeah, and if they're getting fillers, they might not know this, but their lymphatic system isn't working the way
Right.
it should. They might wake up, not know why they're waking up puffy. So, that's like a big, even someone who's not super into, they want more of like the quick fixes, and maybe they have kind of a skincare routine. You obviously want to try to, tell them how important that is.
Right.
But also you can really, drive the point home that like you need to be getting these facials regularly to keep, you know,
Right.
everything supple and keep from getting
Mm,
puffy and retaining lymph in certain areas, or it starts to make you
right.
look kind of weird.
Exactly. And even though they have, great bone structure, once you start doing lymphatic on their skin, let's say they have no filler, no Botox or anything, but
Mhm.
I mean, just they already had a great thin face, but like you do a little bit of lymphatic and it just enhances your natural features. And I always want to show them like a before and after, like a comparison of them. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't realize how puffy I was.
Yeah,
And
the
I'm
people I've
like,
gotten the best results for, even like using the remodeling face
mm-hmm,
machine, because it helps with lymphatic drainage, anything that like increases circulation. Like I've gotten the best results with people with fillers,
mm-hmm,
because they have the filler in areas that they want the volume, but then there's volume everywhere else that they don't want it. And so once you get that cleared away,
mm-hmm.
it's just like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
kind of
like drastic. Yeah.
breathtaking, drastic
Mm-hmm.
difference. Yeah, it's really
Exactly.
cool.
See, my face has like this natural buccal fat here that just I'm thankful that I have it, but like I'll do the remodeling machine and it does a little bit, but it's not like, and that obviously that's not the
You're young
results.
too, like so
Yeah.
it's not down. You can't
Yeah.
lift what's already lifted.
True. I don't know. I mean, I kind of
You're like, why can't it be here? Like,
I just want this to be like this. I just want this. But no, overall, I think those are really great tips. I
yeah.
mean, and always ask questions. Always ask, not to the client, but I mean, like, if you're doing trainings, if you're still continuing education, if you go to master classes,
Mm-hmm.
ask the questions. They love when you like people love when you ask questions. Where
Yeah.
were we?
Oh, we were at the Biology
That was the
conference,
New York
New
one.
York one, where
That was
we
the New York.
we were like,
We were asking
we
so.
thought maybe we were being annoying, but like we had lots of questions.
Yeah, it's like we had written all the questions for the year and just like ask all the questions. But that's how. But they want you to ask those questions. I
Yeah,
think they came around like at the end of the training. They're like,
like
you with the questions. Thank you for the. I knew somebody was gonna ask these questions. Like some questions like they didn't want
yeah,
to answer just yet or something. But
yeah. Because usually everyone's or most people are like wondering the same thing.
yeah,
And I think sometimes we don't want to ask questions because we think it might be a stupid question, but there's not. I mean, there's some
or
stupid
that you think
questions,
you
but
look stupid for not knowing the answer to the
yeah,
question. And always ask the question.
yeah.
I
And
would
like
say.
what? Like if they think like, oh, you should have known it, then so what? Then
Yeah.
they'll
I
they'll clarify.
guarantee there's more people at the table that didn't know the answer and they were just too afraid to ask the question.
Yes,
And
that's
so
usually the
everybody
case.
goes home with the knowledge now.
Yeah,
So
everyone wins.
I agree. Anything else?
That's all that I can like think of right now. I mean, I guess one thing I would say is that, and this might be different now, but when I first went into the industry, it wasn't talked about, and maybe it wasn't quite as important, but it definitely wasn't talked about. But if you get into this industry, just know that it is also a sales job.
Hmm.
It is a lot about sales. And in interviews, one thing you could say is that like I love talking to people about product and getting them on a skincare regimen, because what people who are hiring you really care about, they want you to be good at what you do, but what they really care about is sales. So it's good to know going in that it's a sales job. And if you hate sales, it might not be for you. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I can see that and I can understand that. Absolutely. It is 50-50 sales and 50
And you're selling
educating.
yourself, I guess, always
Yeah.
selling yourself. And
Yeah.
that's any job, most jobs.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would want to get a facial from me if my skin looked like I had acne all over it. And that's you selling yourself to the client,
Yeah.
but
And the
also
way you educate them and present yourself.
exactly. I think personally, not that I've ever been in like I mean I worked in restaurants before like as a server, but I never
That's,
really like
yeah, different.
upcharge them or try to get them to like get the full bottle instead of a glass. I never thought about it
Yeah.
like that. I think for me, it's always been more of I'm doing this for you, the client. You're
Mm-hmm.
coming to me for my service and I'm looking and analyzing your skin and because I'm educated and once you educate yourself in the product, like know the product like the back of your hand
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, right? Because once you again gain that confidence and trust from the guest and you're telling them, you know, it's not really a sale to me, I think is what I'm trying to say. It's not a sale to me. It's because I know your skin now, and I know
Mhm.
the product. I know that, and I've used the product.
Mhm.
That's a must. Like, you must use the product that you sell.
Yes.
Like, that's how
At
you will
least
learn
try
it.
it.
Yeah.
You have to at least try it.
Yes, because you have this background knowledge of the product. Now you know what this skin is like, and because you have this background knowledge, you can tell them, use this one, da 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 da, 3 times a week or every day, da da da, whatever the case may be. Give it 5 weeks or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that confidence comes from knowing the product and knowing skin types and skin concerns and skin conditions, right? So it
Yeah.
comes from knowledge. So to me personally, I know that's your opinion. To me
Mhm.
personally, it doesn't feel like a sales pitch. It just
Mhm.
feels like, you have a problem, I've got the solution right here.
Yeah. It might
To
not feel like
me.
a sales pitch, but it is sales are involved. Like if you had like 5 people that day and all of them were on, you talk to them, they are truly on good skincare regimens. You would be glad that they're on good skincare regimens, but part of it would be like, like it, I'm
Like,
just,
you
I'm
would
just.
want them to get it from you versus them, or from
Well,
wherever
they
they
might
get it,
be on
or
a different line that you don't sell, but
oh yeah.
it's a good line and they are on a good routine, and even though that's wonderful and you are glad about that, you would also be like I can't sell them anything.
Oh yeah. You
And
mean
it's just, I guess I just want people like new to the industry or thinking about going into the industry to realize that it's part of it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Whether it doesn't really matter if your intention is like to help them or if your intention is to like be pushy, it always should be to help them. But it plays a part because it is important to the people that you work for.
Absolutely.
And if you work for yourself, it's
Yeah.
important too
You're
for your
absolutely right.
bottom
There
line.
is pressure to sell. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. There is pressure to sell. But again, if you love what you do, it will come out naturally.
Yes.
It'll come out naturally. So
It
don't.
comes out naturally, but
Yeah.
it's still like
There is
a
pressure.
bummer if like
Mhm.
if everyone's on perfect routines.
Right.
It's
Right.
like a
Right.
bit of a bummer.
Yeah. 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 I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. I would say for that, I would say probably invest in some sales trainings.
Yeah.
I have
Or
never
just training in general, because
training in
the
general. Yeah.
enthusiasm and the knowledge
That's what you always say
will come
about
out.
me. You're like, you just have this
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
it's enthusiasm.
No, it does help. I would say it does help. But what I don't think I've ever told you, I've actually gone to sales trainings before.
Oh, really?
But it's always been a curiosity for me to go. Like, there was this one time where I forget his name. He's like the guy that did like FUBU jeans, or it was like a brand. I don't anyway,
Uh-huh.
I forget his name. But we went to their sales pitch before they get you into this whole
Mhm.
training course, right? So I've been to a couple of those. I mean, I've been to a few of those, and so it just always intrigues me to what do they say, to be able to sell the ashtray to a non-smoker.
Mhm.
But I never liked how aggressive they were.
So aggressive. Yeah, I mean, I bought a car recently and I was like, I'm like a nice person, but I was not nice to them because I felt so
Really.
angry. Like
Mm.
my initial feeling was just like anger because of how pushy and deceptive they were being,
Hmm.
honestly. I kept asking for one thing and they kept showing me something else. And,
Yeah.
at a certain point with that kind of pushiness,
Hmm.
like, yeah, I
Although
hate it so much.
I would say I would even learn from that
Yeah.
how not to be that. I
Not to
mean,
be, yeah.
how not to be that person.
Yeah.
But the tactic behind it, like, because there's
And
like
it
fear
works.
tactics.
It works.
Yeah, but
Because
you don't want that
yeah.
in skincare. Like,
No.
you want to build a relationship with your client, your guest, who
Hmm.
is hopefully long term. You want to establish that
Yeah.
guest, because that's going to be your loyal guest. That's going to be the guest that
Hmm.
knows that you make commission from guests, but it doesn't. I mean, from product, but
Hmm.
it doesn't matter to her or to him. They
Yeah.
want that commission to go to you. That's, yes, I want this person every time, and I want this product, and she was the one that recommended it to me.
Yeah.
Nobody else. She's the one that helped me out. Whatever the case may be, and
Yeah.
I've had people like that. I'm very grateful for people like that. But
Yeah.
it's just because you establish that genuine care. That's going to be tip
Yeah.
number one. It'll always be genuine. There's a few spas, not to mention, where some people have gone,
Hmm.
and it's just like a car salesman almost.
Hmm.
Here's everything that I used on you. Buy it all today. If you don't want to buy it, there's travel size.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I never want to come back here.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways of selling that people will buy it. You put all of it, you say, you need to start using this, and you stand there. And they will usually buy it, but it's not, they won't come back to you.
Yeah.
A lot of times. So it's like, I would always rather be, actually, like, you've talked to me. It sounds like you do have a good routine. Like, if you were added that, I think this would be good for you. But honestly, if you add this to your routine now, it might be too much. It's going to be too active. It might actually cause you to break out. So I'm going to write all this down. I'm going to put it in your file. I guess that's another thing I've started doing recently is of writing down. It's so kind of cumbersome, but like writing down every single thing I use on every single person. What cleanser I use, what serum I use, what order I did it in. And it has come in handy because they come back and like say that my eyes is a little red and I can like look exactly what I use. And that has been
very life-saving.
Very, very.
We just started doing notes too. I mean, I would do have notes every now and then, but we're actually like.
Yeah, I would say like being consistent. What did they say? Do it for your like future you will be happy with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say also that's a great tip too. Keep notes of your guests and
and put little things into like
dog's
they're going on vacation and their kids' names, because as much as we want to remember, it's not like we're like don't care, aren't listening, but sometimes you see so many people, even if we're like pretty sure, like you don't want to just say like, oh, how's Sally, and you're like, I hope that's like I hope I'm not wrong, like I hope that's not her name. You start like second guessing yourself, and you can just like look in the notes and be sure. It's super helpful.
Has it ever happened to you where you don't recognize them face to face, but like once you're laying down at the angle, you're like, I remember.
Oh yes,
you start to recollect the conversation that you had.
Or I forget like one key thing, and I can tell they're kind of like, oh, you don't remember, and I'll be like, oh, I remember like that where you grew up. I remember all these things about you. I just didn't remember your face standing up.
Okay, good. It's not just me.
Because that's how we see them.
I remember these cheekbones
5% of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember this spot right here. We talked about it because you drive often and so it's like all sorts coming back. Have you been using your sunscreen? Reapplying? That's the key. So, I would say, those are great tips.
Yeah, and then you can like build on there, because like we would hate to go to a doctor and every time they're just like, so like asking us the same questions, and you're like, did you not make any damn notes? Like, what the hell?
Oh man,
So do you want to talk about some affordable skincare options? So we
speaking of affordable,
we love I guess whether it's called like medical grade or luxury, there's lots of different words for effective products that are low pricier, and we love all those products, and there's definitely benefits to them, but we also want skincare to be accessible for everyone. And so we've decided on a few of our favorites that are not going to cause harm and give you some good benefit that are very affordable.
I don't know about harmful ones. There is one product that I use not regularly, or I have switched out, but I really like it. But I did switch from it because it was a chemical SPF.
Well, I mean, like it's not going to give you like
like
crazy skin.
Okay. I have switched to mineral-based sunscreen since then, but it doesn't give me that glow that the other one does.
Yeah, and chemical still needs to stay on the market because there's people with different skin tones that just don't want to look chalky.
Exactly. Although I use Le Premier now, the sunscreen, and it doesn't leave that white cast.
Oh yeah,
even on darker skin tones. It's nice. I like that one. And if it's like this size, also like travel size, so in your purse or in your pocket.
I like that. Yeah, I've been using the Isden, like the tinted one. The tinted
one,
kind of. You can't see the white cast so much. It kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Cancels it out, I guess.
Which one is it?
Isden. So 50% SPF. It's kind of like liquidy, but it comes in like a regular and like a tinted and like a powder too.
Ooh, nice. The powder's nice.
Yeah,
the powder's more like if you use makeup, right?
I think if you use makeup or if you just
like have oily skin.
Oily.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, powders. I haven't actually used powder in this yet, but I'm dry, so I probably won't like it.
You look a little oily today, though.
I am oily today. Isn't that weird? Yeah. I've been putting like more serums on, so
it looks good.
Just trying to look dewy.
Well, that's why I like the SPF that I was using. It was from Naturium.
Okay.
and it's called the Dew. I have it here. It's called Dew Glow Moisturizer SPF 50, and it's only $22.
Ooh, nice. So that can be on our list of affordable
Yes, affordable skincare,
skincare.
$22. Sunscreen.
Love
You
it.
don't even need moisturizer with it. It's just
It's like
so
hydrating
hydrating
and
in the skin. Yeah,
oh, I like that.
it leaves
A lot
the
of people
skin
don't
super
like to
dewy.
layer
Yeah,
another
another
one
thing.
other thing too.
That one, my favorite SPF.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, if you want to be doing glowy.
I do.
Yeah, and you reapply, so it's like you're doing glowy all day. It's a really nice one. But
So what's your number one? I mean, I guess that's one.
that's
Is
one.
there
I would say that's
another
my
one that you
number
had?
one.
That's your number one?
My number.
Okay.
I like Naturium. I use Naturium for like body as well. They
Okay.
have KP body scrub
Oh,
because I
nice.
sit for long periods of time. I don't get KP as much. It's not KP around my thighs. It's more like folliculitis, where
Okay.
I sit for long periods of time or wear like tight clothing or something,
Yes.
and then it builds up. I have thick, coarse hair, unfortunately, so when I'm shaving or waxing, whatever the case may be, it just starts to irritate and grow into the skin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so annoying. But thankfully, I've done laser for that, and so that helps.
Yes.
Before I found out laser, before I found laser, I was using the KP. I use it everywhere, and it's a scrub. You can use it as a scrub. You can use it as a mask, and then rinse off,
Oh, nice.
or like apply it, leave it
Mm-hmm.
on, and then scrub it off. That one has helped a lot. Especially again, I sit for long periods of time, so that helps that area as well. I do have KP on my arms, and that's been helping significantly. Like all of this used to be like a little bit white, and so now it's just kind of faded down.
Oh, nice.
So that's nice too. And then they have a body oil wash.
Okay.
That one, I like to do the KP scrub as the exfoliator, and then
And
like
then the
with the
wash.
oil.
Very nice.
And then you rinse it off, but your skin is still left nice and soft. Then they have a body retinol cream for nighttime use.
Oh, okay. I like
Yeah,
that.
it leaves like a velvety finish on the skin. If you like velvety finish on the skin,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
I don't mind the property finish.
And they have great ingredients. It's no fragrance, vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so I like that brand for sure. But for skincare, affordable skincare, I would say their SPF is my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of a body retinol.
Yeah,
Nice.
a body retinol is nice. What else? It's another affordable one. By affordable, I mean like in the $20 range area. It would be the Tula skincare.
Oh, yeah.
Not necessarily. I've only tried their tinted SPF.
Okay.
It's the one that both of those, the Naturium and the Tula, are the only ones that have not broken me out.
Mm-hmm.
The Tula one that I use is the probiotic and superfood tinted SPF. It's like 30 though.
Okay.
And and it's the one that doesn't leave your skin like you know when you use a lot of foundation.
Yeah.
What a cakey is the word.
Cakey. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't leave your skin cakey. It's super lightweight, but
Oh,
it
that's
has nice coverage.
Yeah.
Like a light medium coverage.
Okay. Yeah. Finding an SPF that doesn't break you out is a big thing, and it's so important because if you can't find one for someone, or if someone can't find one for themselves, they won't wear it.
Unfortunately. So those are the two that I've not broken out with. What is it? Le Premier also. I haven't broken out with that one, but that one is like $70 or something like that. So,
yeah, that one's a little bit more pricey.
Yeah, but I like them. I like all three. But those two, I would say, more on the affordable side. Now, if you can spend a little bit more on good quality, but still not as high as $300, the serum yaw from Biologique Recherche is like what, $400, like $340, $330. But it's a highly concentrated hyaluronic acid. I would say the alternative is either the Environ hydrating serum that has AHA, a high concentration of AHA, and it's like slightly over $100, like maybe $130, $140, something around that range, or I think it's like $118 actually.
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken, around a little bit over $100. But a good alternative could be the PCA hyaluronic acid serum, and that one is, I mean, it leaves your skin supple, dewy. Like I have a little bit of like water still on my face, like either a serum or something. Like I splashed, or like I'll do the mist first and then I'll apply that serum. Amazing. And their overnight mask. That one you put on, you put on, you obviously you leave it overnight. It's in the name. And
Yeah.
you leave it overnight instead of like a moisturizer, and it's like Botox. I mean, it's just like you do this and your brows can barely move. I love that one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
really want to try that one
Actually, I think I have it.
on my forehead.
I might have some.
Nice.
I'll send it to you. I'll give you that one. But that one's like 118 or something like that.
Okay.
I think.
So not super cheap, but still very affordable compared to some
The
other
overnight
options.
mask is only $84.
Okay.
So it's
And you can get a lot of uses out of it.
you can get a lot of uses out of it, and it's a good quality hyaluronic acid. I think that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, like you have the ordinary brands. I don't care for ordinary. I've tried ordinary. I try to give them a chance. I don't see a difference in that one.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that are on that brand. I'm like, how long have you been using them? They're like, a year. I'm like, it's not doing anything for your skin.
Yeah.
I would say. One more. A good alternative. Not even good, I wouldn't say. An affordable alternative to the P50, and I hate to even compare the two, because the P50 you can't compare to anything really out there, in my opinion, that I've used.
Yeah.
Paula's Choice
Okay.
has a decent exfoliator.
That one is pretty good. Yeah.
Now, I say decent because I have seen people who have been on it for a few months, maybe about a year or so, and it's not doing the job, but it has shown an improvement in their skin. And I would say that's an affordable one. I think it's $30.
Okay.
$32. Yeah. Again, I use what I use because that's the line that I work with, or we work with, and I prefer, my skin prefers it. But other than that, I would say those.
Those are your main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jessica Alba one I was telling you about.
Oh yeah.
It's
You found it?
I found it. It's her brand is called Honest. Like a cruelty-free, vegan, clean line. Pretty affordable. I think it's a overnight serum, and it has like a high concentration of hyaluronic acid as well, glycolic acid, lactic acid. So it's a good one. From what I saw online, it's like $48 for 30 milliliters.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually a really good one. I would say I used it one time that I remember, not one time overall, but like the first time that I used it, I woke up with like super soft skin.
Oh, nice. And you never know, like celebrity lines, it's like, sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised, but sometimes it's like this total crap.
Yeah.
But that's good to know. That's actually.
Yeah. I haven't tried a lot of celebrity lines. I've tried like Rihanna, like Fenty Beauty. I would say her foundation does break me out, which is why I don't use it. But
use that one, but I've talked to a few people.
I know. I want to love her. I thought like I'll wear her lipstick and stuff like that. Like her nudes, lipsticks. Her mascara. I'm wearing her mascara, and because the packaging is so cute. Have you seen it?
I don't remember. I think I have them because I remember someone telling me about it. I think they showed it to me, but you have to show it.
Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on a second.
I want to see it. Because like lipstick and mascara, you can kind of, it's not on your skin, so you can kind of get away with.
Yeah.
If it's just fun and good colors. Let's see.
So look how cute that is. And then like her little travel size.
That is cute. It looks like super hydrating.
Yeah. Look at this travel size mascara.
Oh, that's It's all like kind of like prism, like like the word prisms or. Oh, so cute.
I don't like that it's not waterproof, but so it was a nice one. If I wear it all day, like from morning to night, my lashes are like curled the next day still.
Even after I take your lashes look really long right now. Are you wearing it?
I'm wearing it. No, it's a good one. I like it.
I like this color too. It's not too pinky.
No, it's time to reply though. I've been talking.
Well, I guess I'll talk about my. Do you have any more you want to talk about? Or?
Not really. No, I think
that looks really good. Okay, so some of my favorite affordable skincare options would be the Garnier micellar water, not the pink one because the pink one has some scent, but just the blue one for sensitive skin.
Right.
It's like just a good makeup remover.
Right. I remember what I was telling you. The hydroboost.
Oh yes.
Yes. So the hydroboost has from Nutrigina, not Garnier, but from Nutrigina, makeup white removers. Now, I wouldn't normally recommend makeup white removers for people.
Yeah, usually
because they're more like alcohol based, or somehow I say no alcohol, but they're still very cheaply made.
It have a lot of scent
And a
normally
lot
and
of
everything.
scent, and it is really harsh on the skin. It's even if you don't have sensitive skin, it will irritate your skin, and that's why I don't ever recommend them. But these Nutrigina hydroboost makeup wipe removers are so hydrating, so soft. It doesn't irritate the eye area because I just use it to remove my eye makeup. But when you said that, that reminded me of that. Yeah,
that's and if it doesn't irritate the eyes, it's not going to really irritate
right
any area that's
exactly
sensitive. Okay, that's a really good tip.
Yeah, like you were saying, even just leave them by the bedside if you're one of those people.
Yeah, if you're one of those people, like you're not going to remove your makeup, put it by your, or not always, put it by your bedside table so that you get in bed at the end of the night and at least, like, we all have the energy to do this.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you don't.
Yeah, just a quick
getting up out of bed. I get that, but yeah, just a quick, because that's the worst thing you can do is sleep with your makeup on. It's gonna just destroy your skin and age you fast.
Yep.
My next, excuse me, my next would be the I guess the Ordinary. We talked a little bit about the Ordinary. I do like their squalene wash. It doesn't matter like the molecular size or like how absorbable it is when it's a cleanser.
Right.
This is just a good, very like emollient, like almost like a thick gel paste, but it did a good job of removing my makeup.
That's good.
I think I got it. I was like out of town or something, and I was like,
that's the only thing there. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was actually
surprised.
I was happily surprised and impressed by it. So it's a good one for, and my skin felt very hydrated afterwards. So if you have oily skin, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's a good like dry skin cleanser. Also, the Roche-posay creamy wash is a good creamy hydrating cleanser. I don't think it has. I think it's pretty basic. It's not going to be irritating.
I'm familiar with it, but I know a lot of people use it.
I'll need to look it up, but I've known a lot of people that have used it and loved it and had a good result with it, and people with sensitive skin as well. The other one would be Vani cream, the one with hyaluronic acid and ceramides. It's a good moisturizer. It's like a basic moisturizer. If you have any kind of breakouts, your skin is just, seems like whatever you do, it's just not calming down. That's a good one. It's like really thin and light. It's good for kids as well. Like my daughter has eczema and she uses it, and it doesn't irritate her skin. It's like a good moisturizer. Like kids don't need to be using products with a lot of actives.
Not at all.
No. And the other would be Differin. That's like probably my favorite of affordable skincare because it used to be a prescription and now it's over the counter in the 0.1%. And like the 3% is still a prescription.
Yeah.
But this is good for, it's very similar to retinol, but it's also less irritating, and it's going to be better for clogged pores, closed comedones. It like is meant for addressing that. So
you said it's not drying, or it is?
It's a little drying, but it's not going to like leave you. It's good for addressing congestion, but it's not going to make you peel.
Okay, or flake like a
tretinoin. I mean, it might for some people, but it's way less irritating.
Okay.
For the skin.
So like a good starter also. It's a good introductory to.
It's a good starter. Like it could be an anti-aging, like if you can't afford a good retinol or tretinoin, you just need something over the counter, it could address aging concerns, but it's more
because of the regeneration of cells,
but it's more geared towards
acne prone skin. Okay.
And it's very effective.
Yeah, I've seen those. You can get those even at Walmart, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe $14. Yeah. It's very affordable. You can get it on Amazon, Walmart. You could do just like a good basic. What's the one that everyone talks about? Like just like the basic cleanser.
Well, I was thinking Roche-posay or Cera Ve.
Like Cera Ve
with the salicylic acid.
Okay, but what's the one that's even more basic? Like so, just like a Cera Ve cleanser, Differin gel, and the Vani cream would be a good routine for someone who's just getting started, someone with kind of sensitive, congested, oily skin.
Yeah.
And I think that might be all. I don't think I had any others on my list. I'm sure there are others, but those are the ones that I'm familiar with.
Right.
And I can actually recommend either like I've used it or I know someone who's used it that I trust.
I would say we have a good range of products that you could use if you didn't want to go to the extra $1 or so to spend on budget.
Yeah, we didn't talk about an eye cream. But we did find one that was
like 80, no, 68.
60, was it 68 or 62?
68. I think the ADST Environ
So Environ's a wonderful line, and if you
62.
62, and it probably lasts a
It has
while.
antioxidants and peptides, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're wanting to kind of like amp it up, eye cream is something that's a little bit more of like you're a little
Advanced
older.
skincare.
Yeah, advanced skincare. You're really trying to be proactive. So even kind of spending the money where you can, like so doing like, you know, like some of the products we mentioned, and then adding something like that to it just to kind of, you know, address an area that you're concerned about.
Right.
Skincare can definitely be achieved that way too, that
Yeah.
skincare.
Yeah, because, you know, you can have a basic cleanser, you can have a basic moisturizer, but when it starts to get a little bit more anti-aging, it does get a little bit more expensive because of the peptides and everything that they add into it, but it's preventative, you know?
You could do eye cream, and then maybe like in a couple months you could add like a serum.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
and do it that way. So
Okay,
make it accessible, more accessible.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that about covers it. So I think next time we should talk about Environ, because it's a wonderful skincare line. It has a lot of vitamin A products that Biologique doesn't have a lot of vitamin A in their products. Really, I think there's like one thing that they have vitamin A in. So this is a really good line by itself, but also to kind of supplement in.
Absolutely, into your everyday routine, things that you don't already have. You know, we were talking about eye cream, so I think it's a good, I would say, a good medical grade, but still slightly affordable.
Yes, it's very
good quality.
Yes, it's very affordable for the quality you're getting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so stay tuned for next time. We'll be talking about Environ and how you can incorporate that into your everyday routine. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.